In the last video, we discussed about the sources of Mauryan history and also started political history of the Mauryans. In the part of the political history, we completed Chandragupta Maurya and also we completed Bindusara. These two are completed. Next to Ashoka the Great, we completed Bindusara, Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusara. Now we are going to discuss about the Ashoka the Great. Ashoka was the greatest Mauryan emperor. He was greatest Mauryan emperor. For any examination, we cannot avoid to read Ashoka because no question paper will exist without the question on Ashoka. Yes, coming to the point of Ashoka. Ashoka means painless. Ashoka means painless or without sorrow. Without sorrow. According to some evidences, Ashoka, he born after the clear of many sorrows or many pains in that family. So that's why he got that name Ashoka. He was a son of Bindusara. Ashoka was son of Bindusara. Bindusara was the second ruler. Buddhist tradition, Buddhist literature speaks about Ashoka's mother was Subhadrangi. Subhadrangi. Subhadrangi was the mother of Ashoka. Originally, coming to the point of the Subhadrangi, she was Brahmin woman. She was Brahmin woman. Ashoka born to the Brahmin woman. That's why Ashoka was also treated as Brahmin. He was treated as a Brahmin. Ashoka was treated as Brahmin. That means he was ill-treated by the remaining prince. Remaining princes, they were ill-treated Ashoka. That's why Ashoka, he started grudge against all the brothers. That's why he killed all the brothers before he ascending the throne. After the death of immediately after the death of the Bindusara, Ashoka killed all the brothers. This was one evidence of the Ashoka's killing of his brothers. So in his edict, Ashoka, he issued edicts. Those are the proclamations of the Ashoka. In his edicts, Ashoka, he mentioned himself as Devanam Piya. Devanam Piya, it was a Prakrut name. Prakrut name. Piya. Devanam Piya. It means beloved of all gods. Ashoka is the beloved of all gods. Devanam Piya, Piyadasi. Piyadasi Raja. Piyadasi Raja. That means who regards evergreen with affection. Piyadasi Raja, who regards evergreen with affection. Beloved of the all gods, evergreen with affection. Almost all the edicts of Ashoka mentioned this name, Devanam Piya Piyadasi. Only in the Maski edict of Ashoka, he mentioned himself as Ashoka. Ashoka was personal name of the Ashoka. Devanam Piya Piyadasi, it was official name. Official name. Ashoka was personal name. Devanam Piya Piyadasi was official name of Ashoka. Yes, in the Indian history, Ashoka, he was a great emperor. In the ancient Indian history, we will find very few emperors like Ashoka Samudragupta, Harshavardhana. We will find only 3 emperors in the ancient period. One was Asoka, Samudragupta and Harshavardhana. These 3 are great rulers of the North India. Whereas this period in the ancient Indian history is coming to the point of the South India, Gautamiputra Satakarni. Like very few rulers are the great rulers in entire ancient Indian history. H.G. Wells, he speaks about the Asoka. H.G. Wells, he speaks about Asoka. Amidst the tens of thousands of names of the monarchs, amidst the tens of thousands of monarchs that crowd the columns of the history, but the name of Asoka shines and shines like a star. Even though there are many rulers fill the columns of the history, but the name of Asoka, always it will be in the top position, according to the H.G. Wells. This was the greatness of Asoka. Next, Asoka's mother. There was a story of Asoka's mother, Subhadrangi. She was mother of Asoka, according to the Buddhist book Asokavadana. Asokavadana speaks that Subhadrangi was a mother of Asoka. But Divyavadana says that Janapada Kalyani, she was mother of the Asoka. Janapada Kalyani, she was mother of the Asoka, according to the Divyavadana. And Mahavamsa, Deepavamsa, they says that Dhamma. According to the Mahavamsa and Deepavamsa, and Deepavamsa, these 2 are Ceylonese chronicles. Mahavamsa, Deepavamsa are the Ceylonese chronicles, Ceylon books. So they record different names of Asoka's mother. This is important for the examination point of view, for any examination point of view. Asoka mother name Subhadrangi from the Asokavadana, Janapada Kalyani from Divyavadana, Dhamma from Mahavamsa and Deepavamsa. These are the names of Asoka. Next, coming to the point of Asoka, ascendancy of the throne. Asoka came to the throne. Ascendancy of throne of Asoka. Ascendancy of throne. That means how he came to the power. Originally, he was helped by the Kallataka and Radhagupta. He was helped by the Kallataka and Radhagupta. These 2 are the prime ministers of Bindusara. Bindusara's prime ministers Kallataka and Radhagupta were helped to the Asoka to ascend the throne. Why they helped? And what was the story of Asoka ascended the throne? If you come to that point, according to all these evidences, we are knowing to one conclusion, we are coming to the one conclusion. Asoka was not legal heir of the Asoka, he was not legal heir of the throne. He was not legal heir of the throne. That means he was not eldest son of the Bindusara. Eldest son of Bindusara was Susima. He was eldest son of the Bindusara. But Susima was not ablest. Asoka was ablest. Several astrologers, they predicted that Asoka would become a king. Even Subhadrangi, there was a story in the Asokavadana. Subhadrangi, while she born, a astrologer said to the Subhadrangi's father, your daughter is going to become chief queen and your daughter's son is going to become the great ruler. So that mentioned in the different stories, different books. So Asoka, he was the ablest. Asoka, he came to the throne not legally. Asoka, he came to the throne through the war of succession. There occurred war of succession. Asoka came to the throne via war of succession. War of succession it is a war for the child. It is a war for the child. War for the power. Child is war for the power. So he fought. And there is another information. Originally Bindusara died in 273 BC. Asoka came to the throne in 269 BC. There occurred 4 years gap. This 4 years gap filled with the war of succession. Filled with the war of succession. According to the Buddhist literature, what Buddhist literature says? Asoka killed 99 brothers. Originally, Bindusara had 101 sons. Bindusara had 101 sons. Out of these 101 sons, Asoka and Tissa, these two are born to the same mother. 101 sons born to the 16 women. But these two were born to the same woman. That's why Asoka, he left Tissa. That was one cause. Except Tissa, he killed remaining 99. That was one story. Another story what reveals, Tissa, he received Buddhism. That's why Asoka left to kill. Asoka, he spared the Tissa. Tissa, he received Buddhism. That's why Asoka, he spared the Tissa. For that, Asoka, to kill his brothers, he constructed Asoka's hell. Asoka's hell. This is also called as paradisal hell. Paradisal hell. He constructed that paradisal hell because Asoka was bad-tempered, wicked ruler. Bad-tempered, wicked statue. Asoka's statue was a bad-tempered, wicked statue, that is a cruel statue, looking like a cruel statue. So he constructed Asoka's hell. This is described as a paradisal cell, an elaborate torture chamber. It was a elaborate torture chamber. Elaborate torture chamber. To torture the people, he constructed Asoka's hell. That is also called as paradisal hell. So Buddhist sources tells about Asoka, he killed 99 brothers and ascended the throne. So Asoka was a Brahmin. He was not treated well. Even Asoka was also not liked by his father. Because Asoka's limbs were very hard. The limbs of Asoka was very hard. Limbs of Asoka, they are very hard to touch. That's why Bindusara did not touch even Asoka. Bindusara never cared about Asoka. Bindusara never liked the Asoka. What is that? Asoka's statue is bad-tempered, wicked statue. Asoka's limbs are very hard limbs to touch. So dangerous figure. Whoever looks at Ashoka, definitely they will afraid of Ashoka. They will scared of Ashoka. And Ashoka's life was divided into 3 parts by Lama Taranath. According to the Lama Taranath, who wrote Tibetan history, Lama Taranath, he wrote Tibetan history. In this book, he divided Ashoka's life into 3 parts. Ashoka's life into 3 phases. First phase is Chandasoka. Ashoka looks like a Chandasoka. Chandasoka means Ashoka the fierce. That means cruel Ashoka. He was a cruel, exceedingly violence, extremely violence. Chandasoka is extremely violence. Second one is Kamasoka. He has desired to extend the empire. Whenever he has desired to extend the empire, he waged war with the Kalinga. Third one is after the Kalinga war, he became Dhammasoka. He introduced the policy of Dhamma. He followed the policy of Dhamma. So like this, Ashoka, the face of the Ashoka, the phases of the Ashoka, the life of the Ashoka divided into 3 parts. According to the Lama Taranath, Ashoka killed 9 of his brothers. But what Jain text says? Jain text they says that Ashoka killed 6 brothers. 6 brothers. And ascended the throne. Whatever it may be, Ashoka, he came to the throne with the killing of his brothers. All the books are telling the same. But Buddhist texts they says that Ashoka, he killed 199 brothers. That might be far away from the reality. It is not near to real. It is far away from the real. It is extended from the reality. But Lama Taranath and Jain text, we can believe that. Ashoka, he killed all his brothers and ascended the throne in 269 BC as a emperor of Mauryans. Emperor of Mauryans. Whenever Ashoka came to the throne, there was only one kingdom left independent, that was Kalinga. There was only one kingdom which was left with independency, that was Kalinga. This we will discuss later. You remember that. He ascended the throne. And coming to the point of the Ashoka's family of the Ashoka. That means first we will discuss wives of Ashoka. Ashoka had 5 wives. Before ascending the throne, he married Mahadevi. First wife, Mahadevi. She was also considered as Devi, and she was also known as Vidisha Devi. Vidisha Devi. Ashoka, while he was young, he appointed as a Viceroy of Ujjain. He appointed as a Viceroy of Ujjain, that is governor of the Ujjain. Always the people appointed as a Viceroy only from the royal family. Coming to the point of the what is that Mauryan period? Mauryan empire was divided into 2 parts. One is Pataliputra as a main center. Another one is Tosali as main center. This is the north. This is east. And west was Gandhara. West was Gandhara. East, that is Ujjain. west is Ujjaini, east is Suvarnagiri. East is the Suvarnagiri. So for all these 4 areas they used to appoint, east is Suvarnagiri, for all these areas they used to appoint prince, royal family, the people who coming from the royal family as a viceroys. Same like that Asoka appointed as a viceroy of Ujjaini. While he was going to the Ujjaini, it was very long from Pataliputra to Ujjaini. He started to moving from Pataliputra to Ujjaini when he was appointed as a governor of Ujjaini, that is viceroy of Ujjaini. Meanwhile, while he was going long journey, meanwhile he was halted at Vidisha kingdom. Vidisha kingdom. In this Vidisha kingdom, he halted at Vidisha. Here, whenever he halted, he married a daughter of a local banker of Vidisha, Devi or Vidisha Devi. He married Vidisha Devi. Asoka married Vidisha Devi. She was a Buddhist Upasika. She was Buddhist Upasika. In the Buddhism, Upasikas are the lay followers. In the Buddhism, Upasikas are the lay followers. Lay followers means they can follow Buddhism even while they are following the family life. She was Buddhist Upasika. She married Asoka. With the Mahadevi, Asoka had two sons. These 2 sons were Mahendra and Ujjaniya. Mahendra and Ujjaniya, 2 sons. One daughter, she was Sanghamitra. This name has been taken from the Buddhism. Sangha, Buddhist Sangha. Mitra, friend of Buddhist Sangha. Friend of Sangha. Like that, Vidisha Mahadevi gave birth to the Mahendra, Ujjaneya and Sanghamitra. All these people, they were become Buddhist propagators, Buddhist Upasikas. The daughter and sons of the Vidisha Mahadevi were also Buddhist Upasikas. They also started to preach Buddhism. That's why Mahendra and Sanghamitra, these 2 were sent to the Ceylon by Asoka as Buddhist missionary. They started to propagate Buddhism. They become Buddhist missionaries. They started the Buddhist missionaries. They went to outside India to propagate Buddhism. Mahendra and Sanghamitra. Vidisha Mahadevi, she was a daughter of trader, banker, that is belongs to the Vaisya clan. That's why she was inferior to the status of the queen. She was inferior to the status of the queen. That's why she did not went to the Pataliputra. She stayed at Vidisha only. She did not went to the Pataliputra. She stayed at Vidisha. So this is about Mahadev. She did not went to there. That's why she did not become the chief queen. First wife. Second wife, Karuvaki. Karuvaki, she was mentioned in the Asoka's edict. In Asoka's edicts. Asoka, he mentioned in his edicts only one queen, that is Allahabad Queen Edict of Asoka. Allahabad Queen Edict of Asoka mentioned that Karwaki was queen of Asoka. Remember, only one queen of Asoka mentioned in the Allahabad inscription. That was Karwaki. And third, Asandhimitra. Asandhimitra, she was third person. She was chief queen of Asoka. Chief queen of Asoka. Asandhimitra. Fourth, Tisaraka. Tisaraka. She was also chief queen. After the death of the Asandhimitra, she became the chief queen. Tisaraka, she was cast for the killing of Bodh tree. She killed Bodh tree by sending Gauda Sasanka. Gauda Sasanka. Bodh tree was killed by Tisaraka. Why she killed Bodh tree? Because after visit of the Bodh tree, Asoka was going to there. And always Asoka, he was staying at Bodh tree instead of staying at Tisaraka. She felt that Bodh tree was a co-sister. That's why she gave poison and she cast for the death of the Bodh tree. By that time Asoka, he sent Mahendra and Sanghamitra for the propagation of the Buddhism to the Ceylon. These two brought one branch of the Bodh tree. Bodh tree branch was planted at Ceylon. That was grown. But here in the birthplace of Buddhism, there is no Bodh tree. Again, we brought a branch of the Ceylon Bodh tree planted there. Now, it is not original Bodh tree, it is a branch of the Bodh tree which has taken from the Ceylon. Understood this point? Got this clear? Next, fifth one. Fifth queen of the Asoka, she was Padmavati. Padmavati, mentioned in the Ceylonese chronicles like Mahavatsa, Deepavamsa, like other books. So these are the queens of Asoka, 5 queens: Mahadevi, Karuvaki, Asandhimitra, Tisaraka and Padmavati. You have to remember Mahadevi and Karuvaki. These two are most important because Mahadevi, daughter Sanghamitra and Mahendra, these two were sent to the Nepal. Karuvaki, only queen mentioned in the inscriptions of Asoka. These two are important personalities of the wives of Asoka. After these wives of the Asoka, next to Asoka sons. Originally Asoka had 5 sons. According to some informations, Asoka, he had 5 sons. Asoka's sons were the Mahendra, Ujjaniya, Mahendra, Ujjaniya, Kunala, Tivara and Jaluka. These two we know already. Already we know these two. After these two, the next person is Kunala. Kunala was the eldest of all these Tivara and Jaluka. Tivara, he was only one son of Asoka mentioned in the Asoka's edicts. Remember, only one queen mentioned in the Asoka's edicts, she was Karuvaki, and only one son of Asoka mentioned Tivara in the edicts of Asoka. Jaluka, he was son of Asoka, mentioned in the Kalhanas Rajatarangini. Kalhana's Rajatarangini says that Asoka's son was Jaluka. Asoka constructed Srinagar. According to this book, Kalhana's Rajatarangini, Asoka constructed Srinagar. Asoka constructed Srinagar. Asoka had two daughters. Asoka had two daughters. Two daughters of Asoka. One was Sangamitra. This already we discussed. Sangamitra. She was a Buddhist monk sent to the Nepal. Charumati. Another daughter was the Charumati. This is about family details of Asoka. All these are the family details of Asoka. Next to Asoka's reign. Coming to the point of the Asoka's reign. How Asoka ruled. 13 years. He was typical Magadhan sovereign for the 13 years. That means Asoka came to the throne in 269 BC. 269 BC. 13 years means up to 256 BC. For this 13 years, he was behaved like a sovereign Magadha ruler. It was at this moment. I already told to you in the initial explanation, Kalinga was only one kingdom which left to the independent in entire India. Kalinga was ruled by the Mahameghavahana dynasty. Mahameghavahana dynasty. Mahameghavahana was founder of the Kalinga. That is also called as Chedi dynasty. According to some evidences of this period, Ananta Padmanabha, he was a ruler of Kalinga. But Asoka never mentioned this name. Even any edict of Asoka, any inscriptions of Asoka, he did not mention about the Ananta Padmanabha. The name might be, if he mentioned that name, he might get more and more, crazy and greatness, because he was killed in the battlefield. So Asoka concentrated on the Kalinga to defeat Kalinga. 8th regnal year of Asoka. 8th regnal year of Asoka, that is 8th reign period of Asoka. Whenever he came to the throne in 269 BC, after that 8 years, that is around 261 BC, Asoka waged Kalinga war. Battle of Kalinga. It was a major war during the time of the Kalinga period, during the time of the Asoka period. This he mentioned in his 13th Major-Rock Edict. 13th Major-Rock Edict of Asoka, found at Odisha, because Kalinga is Odisha. Kalinga, it will be in the eastern area, almost from Odisha to Nellore of that period. This was the Kalinga kingdom, eastern kingdom. 13th Major-Rock Edict gives elaborate description of the Kalinga war. In this Kalinga war, Asoka, he killed 1 lakh soldiers. 1 lakh soldiers were killed. It was a massive one. 1 lakh soldiers were killed, and 1,50,000 members brought as a captives, war captives. War captives called as slaves. These are the slaves. Yuddha Kaidilu. War captives as the slaves. They are also Katappas, like in Bahubali. Prisoners. These were the prisoners. After watching this ghastly, devastated Kalinga, after the war, that was ghastly, devastated Kalinga, then Asoka, he melted his heart. Asoka's heart was melted after seeing the great, the massive killing of Kalinga war. Several mothers, they are weeping at the dead bodies of their sons. He went to one mother and he said that, don't weep, I am like your son. But that mother says, you are not my son. You killed my son. Not only my son, you killed several sons of the several women. After this, Asoka started thinking. He started thinking. In that thinking, Asoka, he find a different way. That is, Asoka, he left the sword. Asoka, he dropped the sword and took up the wheel of Dhamma. Asoka, he dropped the sword and took up a wheel of Dhamma. That is what called as, he stopped the military conquest. Asoka stopped the military conquest. Berigosha turned into the Dhammagosha. Asoka's Berigosha turned into the Dhammagosha. He diverted from Berigosha to Dhammagosha. Berigosha means war drums. He stopped the war and he followed the policy of Dhamma Vijaya. He followed the policy of Dhamma Vijaya. A policy of Dhamma Vijaya. Asoka followed the policy of Dhamma Vijaya. He stopped the military conquest. He dropped the sword, took up the wheel of Dharma. The Dharma of Asoka, the Dhamma Vijaya of Asoka, it says that Asoka, he did not stop the annexations. He did not stop the conquest. But Asoka, he continued the conquest through the Dharma Vijaya. Without wars. He annexed several kingdoms without the wars. Asoka annexed the several kingdoms without the wars. He annexed the several kingdoms without the wars. So Asoka, he followed that Dhamma Vijaya. And also Asoka constructed a diamond throne he built a diamond throne at Buddha's. According to the text of the Asoka, Buddhist text of the Asoka, Asoka received, after the Kalinga war, Asoka received Buddhism. Asoka, he received Buddhism by Upagupta. Asoka received Buddhism by Upagupta, a Buddhist monk, Upagupta. Yes, now coming to the point of Dhamma policy of Asoka. Asoka, he followed the policy of Dhamma. What is Dhamma? Dhamma is a socio-ethical conduct. Dhamma, it is a socio-ethical conduct. Dhamma is Prakrut word. It is a order to follow. Dhamma is a order to follow. Dhamma is a ethical thing to follow. Dhamma is a legal thing to follow. Dhamma is a justice to follow. Dhamma is a morals, ethics to follow in the life. Dhamma would give eternal happiness to you, according to the Asoka. Dhamma is a Prakrit word. Dharma is a Sanskrit word. Dharma, it is a Sanskrit word. Sanskrit word. It was socio-ethical conduct to follow. Asoka, this stated in the 13th Maesara Edict. Dhamma stated in the 13th Maesara Edict after the Battle of Kalinga. Battle of Kalinga was very high cost. That's why he left the wars. He dropped the sword. He took up the wheel of Dhamma. The Dhamma Chakra of Asoka. Asoka's Dharma Chakra. We can find this Asoka's Dhamma Chakra in Sarnath Pillar Edict. Sarnath Pillar Edict. We can be found at Sarnath Pillar Edict. Asoka's Dharma Chakra, it has 24 spokes. 24 spokes. Like Dharma, there are different chakras. Buddhist Dharma Chakra. Coming to the point of the Asoka's Dhamma Chakra. Asoka's Dhamma Chakra, it contains 24 spokes. 24 spokes. Buddhist Chakra, Buddhist Dharma Chakra. Buddhist Dharma Chakra, it contains 8 spokes. 8 spokes. And Sudarsana Chakra, there is another chakra, Sudarsana Chakra. This contains 12 spokes. So while we are going to know about the Dhamma Chakra of Asoka, you have to compare these also, because this asked several times in the examination. Sudarsana Chakra and also Dharma Chakra of Buddha, Buddhist Dharma Chakra. So like Asoka, he started Dhamma. In this Sarnath, in the Sarnath Pillar Edict, Asoka, he mentioned that Satyameva Jayate, which has been taken from the Mandanikopanishad. Satyameva Jayate. Satyameva Jayate. Truth gets victory always. Satyameva Jayate. Truth trumps. That is, truth always trumps. Truth always gets victory. So it has taken from the Mandanikopanishad. Asoka followed the policy of Dharma Vijaya through the Satyameva Jayate. It means conquest through the peaceful means. Asoka's personal religion was Buddhism. Originally, Asoka's personal religion was Buddhism. He patronized Buddhism, he followed Buddhism. But he never forced the people to follow Buddhism. But Asoka's Dhamma, coming to the point of Asoka's Dhamma, Asoka Dhamma is quite different from Buddhist Dhamma. Buddhist Dhamma is different, Asoka Dhamma is different. Asoka's Dhamma was somewhat different from the Buddhist Dhamma. Asoka's Dhamma is the collection of good principles. It is collection of good principles from all the religious texts. From all the religious texts. He took good principles from the Hindu religious text. He took good principles from the Buddhist religious text. He took good principles from the Jain religious text. Asoka's Dhamma is not Buddhism. Asoka's Dhamma is not Jainism. Asoka's Dhamma is not Hinduism. It is a different policy which was introduced by the Asoka. great principles of ethics has been included in the Asoka's Dhamma. Asoka nowhere mentioned about the noble truths of Buddha or noble truths of Buddhism, or Asoka nowhere mentioned Ashtanga Marga to follow. It is completely different from the Buddhist. And also Asoka never mentioned about Nirvana, the goals of the Nirvana. Asoka Dhamma Vijaya is different. Asoka's Dhamma policy is different. According to the morality, according to him, morality was the essential quality in the life of the humankind to continue with happiness. If you follow the morality, morality is the main essence to follow. Morality is the main quality to follow. Is Dhamma comprised such principles of morality? Is Dhamma comprised such principles of morality? That is charity. Charity is a dhanam. Charity is a dhanam. Mercy, daya. Charity, dhanam. Mercy, daya. Truthfulness. That is satyam. Truthfulness, satyam. And also self-control. One should self-control. That is sanaya. Self-control is sanaya or sanyam. Self-control is sanyam. These four are the essential principles of Dhamma. It did not contain any